Now, with the awakening of the feminine, I know that some groups and things say that some of the, I guess you would call it, say, female ascended masters and things like that are now coming forward more, and um, I guess also reawakening the divine feminine. Is that shift occurring also, or
What's the
is it
difference?
like one and the same?
What's the
Yeah.
difference?
Just kind of answering my question at the same time as I, it's like, that's probably the same thing.
It's a bit of a, I can see where people are focusing on the divine feminine. It's a bit of a misnomer because at that level, there really is no masculine feminine the way that we think of it
Yeah.
in human terms.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not accurate. There are aspects that are more kind of like, if you think of it as a polarity thing, like a battery, there are aspects that are more polarized to one side than the other. But in highest truth, the way you present is completely up to how you feel like presenting in any given moment. I mean, present as male aspect, female aspect, wouldn't matter to you because you're not any of it anyway. And in a higher dimensional outpicturing, it's no weird coincidence that when you see pictures of like beings from multi-dimensional beings coming in, that they look very, what would you call it? I don't say transgender, but very, what's the word? I can't think of it. Just lost it.
I want to say hermaphrodite, but I
Yeah,
don't.
like hermaphrodites. Like they really don't have a sex,
Yeah.
They just all look very
Oh,
similar.
androgynous? Is that the word?
Androgynous, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and with good reason, because it's the only place procreation takes place is here. It's here. It's the only place that sex drive exists is here, because it's a primal thing that doesn't exist outside of this reality. So the thing with the emergence of the feminine, I mean, is it true? Yeah, but it's not like it's gone anywhere. It's just that the way society has functioned, it really pushed it down. So
Yeah.
the feminine strength has always been there. And anyone with a grandmother knows that. Right? I mean, and who doesn't have a grandmother? Because why is it that, and anyone who grew up with even a mother or their grandmother and watched the dynamic between the grandmother and the grandfather, you knew who wore the pants in that family. Right? As the saying goes. By and large, the women have had a lot of control. It's just it wasn't allowed to be public.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just things are allowing for a rebalancing where now we can publicly say that yes, it's okay for women to have the same strength publicly that we attribute to men. That's okay, and it doesn't lessen a man, and it doesn't glorify a woman.
Yeah,
it all needs to just be balanced, and that's the whole point. And that's the place where the other feminine side of it can go off in left field too, right? Because now they get stigmatized as being man haters and all of that, and that's so not. If you even go back to the women's lib movement, there's a really great documentary out there on Netflix. I think it's She's Beautiful When She's Angry, I think is the name of it. Beautiful documentary. And in it, there was a woman who was saying, they labeled all of us back then as you're a man hater, you're a lesbian, like all of that stuff. And she says, we didn't hate men, we love men. But it wasn't about that. It was about us having the right, the same rights that men have. And it wasn't anything about making men worse. It was just about allowing us to be lifted. And that's exactly what needs to happen. And so women have to keep that in mind too. This isn't about bastardizing men. That's not the point. It's just saying, hey, we just need to meet in the middle. We need to get over these these patterns of behavior that we teach our young men and that we teach our young ladies as far as what they will accept from men, and what we teach young men as far as what they should expect from women, and all of that dynamic. If we all just do our job from the time our kids are little to show them that they're equal, regardless of the difference in their body types, that they are equal all the way, then we'll move into a place where the world looks very different, And again, that lines up completely with, in the next 10 years, we'll have a whole generation of people who still hold very old mentalities, who will be transitioning out, and it allows for people who are much more broad-minded to take that place and be more tolerant. And tolerance isn't even a word I like to use. We'll just say more accepting, period. Tolerance is, I really don't care for that word, because that still shows judgment, So just more accepting of meeting people where they're at. Yeah.
Okay.